Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Unapologetically Sarah Garcia. Today's topic of what I'm going to talk about, now, mind you, it's a heavy topic. It's a very heavy topic. It's a stigmatized topic. It is also a topic that I'm not going to spout statistics off because I didn't want that type to be a video. But we're going to talk about mental health. Now, when I bring up mental health, I'm going to talk about my experiences of certain things and then express my feelings of what could be better. Okay. So I have always dealt with mental health issues. I have a mother who, there's a long list. I'm sure my dad too, but he's never been diagnosed. Anyway, sorry. So, because of the fact of the stigma on mental health and things that are not normal, right? In the 90s, from what I remember, the early 2000s, it was very different compared to what it is now. Not saying it's much better, but it is different. It's more normal now to say, hey, I have mental health issues. When I was growing up, it was okay to say it, but not around people. I'm from the generation that was raised to keep those things behind closed doors. And I'm going to tell you something. I mean, in one area, okay, I get it. In the other, I don't. And the reason why I say that is because I've been sexually assaulted. I have been raped in life. I've been abused by partners. I have been through domestic situations. You know what I mean? I've been through some shit. And I'm from the generation that you don't talk about those things. Even when I was younger, I was told that it didn't happen or, it's not real. And anyway, long story short, I suffer from some mental health issues. I do very well at it now. I've gotten better. Obviously, I'm very sober. I'm doing somewhat great in life, But I'm gonna share the time. I want to talk specifically about a time in 2021. It was March of 2021. I was arrested for misdemeanor bullshit. Okay, I went to jail for 11 days in Alameda County. And when I was getting out, I had the understanding that I could go to rehab. My PO never got back to me. Like, I wrote him letters. I called his, left voicemails, and I had a texter in that county. So I texted, and I said, hey, this is Sarah. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm going to go to rehab. So my mom came to pick me up, and I went to Target. We were getting some stuff for rehab, and I got a call. And it was a block call. I took the call. I said, hello. They're like, hey, is this Sarah so-and-so? And I said, yeah. It was my PO from the facility or whatever in Fayette County. And he goes, may I ask where you are? And I said, yeah, I'm in Target in southwest side of Cedar Rapids. He goes, well, I don't understand why you're there. You didn't get permission to leave the county. And I said, are you fucking kidding me? I said, I left the county to go to rehab. I let you know. I told you that I got 11 days under my belt. Like, I am so far gone off a needle. Like, bro, give me some grace. That PO did not give me grace. That PO pulled all my pre-trials. So, in other words, I had 22 warrants out for my arrest. I let him know, catch me if you can. Fuck. And I went down an even bigger spiral hole, right? I did stupid shit, and I got to the point where I just couldn't handle anymore. My mentals were, I was paranoid. I was gone, I was thinking that every SUV was the police. I was thinking that anytime there was a knock on the door, I was paranoid. So I ended up getting arrested in June of 2021. And that's great, fine and dandy. I got back out in July of 2021 on my dad's birthday. And I didn't stay sober. I didn't want to be sober. I didn't want to be sober at all. My mentals were so fucking jacked up. I had nothing to stand on. I have no money. I have no nothing. My relationship's going to shit, this, that, and the other. Like, my relationship was shit. I mean, I wasn't with them anymore. Okay, we were done as of August of 2020, so we're talking June, July of 2021. You know what I mean? Like, I was tired. So I continued to get high, and then I had to report myself to the halfway house. I did all right for the first couple weeks. I ran, came back in November, and I did it through May. My mentals were, at that point, I feel like they were, let's do what we got to do to get out of here. Because when I got out of there, my mentals were so bad in a rooming house that I just dug myself in a whole deeper hole than I was in. And then I met my husband, like my husband is in there. And even on the hardest days, he does so well with me. He's amazing to me. Like, he doesn't see it, but I see it. And I'm going to have bad days and I'm going to have good days. And something that he's taught me and that I've learned over these last 4 years is that patience really is a virtue. Good things will happen if you put the work in, and I'm doing that. So that's a little bit of my history, right, of mental health. I didn't really want to make this about me. I want to talk about the importance of, there is a lot of talk about doing different things for mental health and getting it in your community and this, that, and the other, but really nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. It's really easy to say we're going to do this, that, and the other, and then there's not. In the city of Milwaukee, as I drive around the city a lot, there are so many buildings that are owned by the city that are just owned by them. Why don't you repurpose them? Why don't you, instead of raising X amount of dollars for a new museum that it looks like a squished thing of toilet paper, why didn't y'all do a fundraiser to create, like, take one of these buildings and remodel it? There are some places that are catching on to this idea that I'm talking about, and that's how I got it. I won't lie. I saw it on a reel where, and I didn't look it up which country or state. I'd have to recheck, but I'm pretty sure it's a state in the States where they took this building and they created like little houses, and the homeless people get to live in these houses. They get a key to their house. Their belongings don't get stolen, and it gives them a sense of purpose. The mental health crisis, and I believe it's a crisis, that the United States is experiencing is, I believe, a lot. It's also a society problem. It's looked frowned upon by those that are better off, maybe is the word I want to say. But I will tell you that it's a serious thing happening. I see it every day here. There's a couple people I know out here that I don't know them. Okay, I'm familiar with them. I see them when I'm out and about, and very respectful and very kind. And I can only imagine, like, if they were just given some kind of opportunity to not be there. I mean, mental health, I feel like when it's untreated, people deal with their mental health in other ways that aren't healthy, that aren't suitable. And we can do better for men too. Okay, this isn't just about females. Men go through things too, and that's not talked about enough. It needs to be. It needs to be a lot, and it's not. But I don't know. We need to do better. Okay. I have a friend from TikTok. I'll say a person that I know. He's struggling with some medical issues, mental health issues, things like that. And one thing that I appreciate with the social media presence that I have is that even if I'm joking around or whatever and I can make someone smile, I hope I do. I hope I can make someone's day brighter just by being me. It's easy to maintain and make it look all great and this, that, and the other. It's another when one feels alone trying to hold on to that lifesaver, like when you're in the ocean, you get not ocean, wherever, the pool. We got to come together as a community. That's the biggest thing. Like, we're also segregated into our own little worlds that people don't even realize what's passing by them and what should be doing, they should be doing, or, how hard is it to smile at someone? How hard is it to give someone 50 cents? You know what I mean? Buy them a burger. You might make their day. The other day, my daughter and I, we saw somebody, and He was so nice. He was just cleaning the corner that he was standing on, and we gave him $1 and a little treat, you know, and he just looked at us. He's like, this is all for me. And I was like, yeah. The man's appreciation in just that small gesture, we both could tell made his day. So if you're out and about in this world and you see someone in the street or something, don't be rude. Don't make faces. You don't know their story. You don't know what got them there. And you know what? It's not even in the homeless community. Remember that. This is everybody. Everybody. I'm not homeless. I have friends that deal with mental health stuff. They're not homeless, you know. Just be kind. That's the point in my video today, okay, on mental health. Be kind. Help someone put that card away. You know what I mean? Don't cuss them out for this, that, and the other. You know, you never know what they're going through. And as everybody already knows me, I will yell, but they can't hear me. I tell people they're beautiful. So with that, I'm going to end this. If you are needing help or seeking any advice, you can call 988, text 988. It is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. And I hope you have a blessed rest of your day.